Hi, here's a bit of a rundown of the new Google Maps interface. You can see it's fairly takes up the whole screen, so it's a lot of map and not a lot of stuff to clutter up the page. To find a place, you simply type its name in. So let's say we're looking for a school, say Yarra Valley Grammar School. So we click on that, and it goes directly to there in the map. You can see there it's showing the location of the school. It also gives a card here with some information. You can see it's got the address, it's got a button here for Street View. There's also some directions you can go to, and you can save it. So it's pretty easy to look for a place, find it, and get a whole bunch of information presented nicely on these cards. As far as directions go, if I wanted to know how to get to the school from, let's say, Melbourne Airport, I could click the directions button and then simply put in where I'm coming from. So I might say Melbourne Airport. There you go. It's shown up there. And it will instantly draw me a line that goes from the airport. Let's just move this out of the way here. There you go. So from the airport over here all the way over to the school in question. So it's also suggesting to me that there are alternative routes. You can see the blue one is the one it's mainly suggesting. But if I click here, I have the option of switching to this route here or switching to that route there. And you can see that I can take any of those three routes. Let's just go back to the initial one, which is that one. If I wanted to take a detour, like let's say I wanted to go into the city on the way. Oops, didn't mean to zoom out quite that far. Let's say I want to take a bit of a detour. I want to actually come down here and visit somewhere in North Melbourne. I can just drag the blue line and it goes to a new location and it will reroute based on that new information. You'll notice up here it also gives me information for driving. Also, if there was a public transport option, it would give me public transport. Same with flying. Clearly those are not options in this case, so they're greyed out. I could walk, theoretically. So that would give me the walking track. You can see there it is marked with blue dots. Or I could click the bicycle and I could see how the best way to cycle there would be. And so it's doing all that calculation. There's a link here that says step by step. If I click that, it will actually give me the driving instructions. And you can see as I scroll down there, there's a list of all the different turns that I need to take. So if you wanted to print them out, there is in fact a little print button up in the corner here. So you could print those out and take them with you. You can change the preferred units to kilometres or miles, depending on which you prefer. I like kilometres, so I'll switch to that. But it will default to whatever your locale tells you it should be. If you click on any of these instructions here, it will actually zoom in on the map to that particular turn. And so you can see as I'm clicking different things here, it's taking me to the different turns in the instructions. When I'm done looking at the instruction list, I can click view full map view and it will take me back to the full map view. So that's how you find a place and find directions between places. It's also possible to see live traffic. So you can see here, if I just move up here, I'm looking here at Melbourne, and if I click on the traffic link here, it will actually show me the current traffic. I'm recording this quite late at night, so as you'd expect, the traffic's pretty good everywhere. But you can see there's a little bit of congestion in places. There's a little bit of red there. If I just sort of zoom in on Melbourne, there's a little bit of congestion in the city there. It's a bit slow around whatever street that is there, Flinders Street, I think. Yes, you're seeing live traffic views, which is pretty useful. You can also click on the bicycling link and it will show you any bike trails, bike-friendly pathways. And you can see there's a bunch of bike pathways here through the parks and along the riverbanks. There's some cycleways. So if you're a cyclist, that's pretty handy. Also, there's a link here that says transit. And when you click transit, it will actually show you a lot of the transit stations. Now, Melbourne, it doesn't actually show a lot for Melbourne. If I was to go to Sydney, we'll just zip up here to Sydney, and let's find somewhere a little bit. Let's go to Redfern. Okay, so we'll actually zoom right in there to Redfern, and you'll notice that if I turn on transit when I'm here, it's actually showing me all the train lines that are going through Redfern Station here. If I click on there, it tells me all the train lines that are actually going through that point. If there's a lot of train lines going through a station like this, it does actually just tell you which lines they are. However, if you were to go to a line, let's just go along here to somewhere with less trains, so this one is St. Peter's, for example, it is actually then telling me what time the trains come. And this is real time, and I don't know if it accounts for trains that are running late. I think it's just scheduled services, but it will actually tell you the timetable for that point. We'll also do it for bus timetables, train timetables, ferry timetables, that kind of thing. So there you go. That's a whole bunch of information contained in the map there. The other thing you can do is if you find somewhere you particularly want to save, there's a save button here. You can just click that and it will star or save that place that you've got, in this case St. Peter's Station. Where the stars actually show up is on a mobile device. So if you go to Maps on mobile, either Android or iOS, you'll in fact have a list of saved places. And one of the really neat features is if for people who are using the maps to navigate around, if you look up somewhere on your computer while you're still at home, then when you go outside and you pull your phone out of your pocket, it will actually pull up the places that you've searched for back on the desktop. So they are actually syncing between the two. The other feature in here is Earth. You'll see down the bottom here there's an Earth view, and if I click that, it will switch to Earth view. Now this isn't just a photographic map, it's not just a satellite image of the map. If I actually zoom right out, you'll see that it is in fact Google Earth. Oops, I probably didn't mean to zoom quite that far. So it is actually, if I'm dragging that around there, it's a little bit sluggish because I'm recording the screen at the same time, but it does actually show that. You can see there's all my little stars of places that I've starred and saved over the time. While you're in a map view, and let's just zoom in a little bit, there is a button over on the side here which will tilt the ground. So if I click it once, it tilts over slightly. If I click it again, it tilts over a little bit more. And if I click it a third time, it goes back to a direct perpendicular to the ground view. You'll notice that when I'm in Earth view, I get a bunch of photographs that show up on the bottom of the page here. And they are showing me any points of interest that are contained within the current map view. So if I mouse over them like that, you can see there's a little line that comes up and points out where exactly these pictures were taken. So that's pretty useful. If I'm not interested in the pictures here, I can click this little button here and just pack them away down the bottom and they go away. When I'm ready to go back to normal view, before I do, in map view, let's just zoom in just a little bit more and let's actually tilt the ground over slightly. If you hold down the Shift key on a Mac, and I believe the same on a PC, you can actually use the mouse to drag around, rotate, move, and just otherwise look around the landscape. So all I'm doing is clicking and dragging with my mouse there while holding down the Shift key. So it's quite a nice way to navigate. Let's just click on the map here to go back to Maps view, and you'll see it takes me back to the regular Maps view. So there you go. That's a quick overview of how you navigate around and find your way around the new Google Maps. If for some reason you wanted to go back to the old maps, it is possible here by clicking on the little blue link here, and you can say return to classic Google Maps. But I would suggest you get used to the new one because at some point it will become the only one. Hope that helps.